Hello, internet fans. Welcome to another episode of the Buddies Forever live stream with your hosts, Rape and
Key, ma, 3D,
and
Alex.
Murphy.
Dad.
lick.
Oh boy.
Ass lick.
I don't know if you guys remember last week. Was it the week before? Ran into a little hot water.
It is last week, and then we decided upon another movie where it's a potential thing somewhere, and I was like, well, there's just fun luck with that, but
Yeah, it
it's
happens.
sometime, and believe it or not, out of 12 movies, there's a few Friday the 13th we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, not on this format for sure, but we have covered this in short form over on the Deep Cut podcast, available on all major podcast apparatuses. But now we get two hours to rant, ramble, rave, point out all this hay and no horses, all the good stuff.
We get to exploit the aspect of a visual element to it as opposed to just an audio format for the podcast, which is fantastic for on the go and all that kind of thing. But here is where we're just going to look at it as a visual masterpiece as well when we get to our second hour.
So, speaking of visual masterpiece, before you jump into the brief plot synopsis for the uninitiated, even though I doubt anybody in the chat has not seen this movie, just a quick thing that I want to discuss, because this, I mean, I would say recently, but it's been a couple years now. This has received a Scream Factory Super Duper Special Edition awesome box set that you and I both own. Snarls owns. Beautiful, beautiful box set. Would you agree, sir?
Absolutely.
Now, what did you watch this movie this week in preparation for this, or no? Because, you know, we don't normally need to refresh these films.
We've been doing it so long that we've stretched the limit of movies that I can just pull out from memory. This one is pretty much in the memory banks, but it's summertime, so the mode is in the air, and we've not really watched too many Friday the 13th this summer yet, so we'll throw it on. So I did rewatch this past week Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D.
Okay.
And I even tried, we talked off air, but I tried to rewatch it also in 3D, but if you have that version of the disc, I don't know about on this one, this OG 8-film box set, which is ironically the first thing I ever used a credit card to buy, and I was terrified.
Right.
This was $80 back in the day, and I couldn't believe spending that much money. But these 3D glasses won't do shit on that 3D. It's the new 3D. Well, I guess it's the old new 3D. You know, back when they were selling 3D TVs for a hot minute, when like the Avengers and all that was coming out, that level 3D, not old 3D.
Yeah, real 3D. But so what I was getting at is, I mean, this is as cleaned up can get. This is where we're at right now. This has been, you know, as digitally touched up, as sharpened as we can possibly get it. Now, when I rewatch this on this Blu-ray, it is still so incredibly soft because of that 3D camera that they used, and it's almost distracting to me in certain scenes where you know a 3D gag is coming. Everything's soft because it's those two lenses or whatever is going on to make that 3D thing happen, and then the scene immediately following will be crystal clear, sharp as a tack, beautiful, completely like everything is so sharp and crisp, and the colors pop so hard, and the lines are nice, and it really bothers me. I don't know if it bothers you, but I'm like, man, can't we focus on cleaning that up a little bit? But you know, I'll take what I can get. But now that it's Blu-ray quality, that really stands out in, you know, stark contrast to me. That's all I wanted to say. Just, boy, come on, clean it up a little more.
The review has not seen any of the Friday the 13th movies.
You're lying. He's trolling. That you can't.
Nobody does that on the internet. I believe he's in a single one of these 12 movies.
He's got like a full Jason chest tattoo with like Ari Lehman right by the belly, jumping out of the belly button. Like, yeah, you do. I know.
That's way too close to something. Never mind.
Hmm.
But Friday the 13th, 3D, jumping on the 3D craze because they were panicked. Because who's going to go see stuff in the theater? Because this new thing, cable, is out. So who's going to make it to the theaters anymore? Who's going to spend money after driving in the car to get somewhere and watch something? That they'll just sit at home and watch it. We need gimmicks. We need an element to bring them into the theater. Smell-O-Vision had its kind of phase, and Vista-Vision, something like that, in the black and white days. They ran through a series of different things to try to bring folks back into the theater, and 3D in the early 80s, that was the latest and greatest thing. And I definitely had the thought rewatching this movie, does any movie really benefit from 3D? Like, does anything like, oh, that's way better in 3D? Because I was thinking, because all the stuff in this movie that is 3D, that if you've not seen it would think of, is not anything they do. All of the stuff we see in this that's 3D is like, it's like a laundry pole. Yeah, someone passing a joint.
I can't wait to see that in 3 fucking D.
Yeah, a baseball bat, like just playing baseball, not even swinging at somebody's head or anything. The only element that is useful of the 3D in here is we have an eye-popping sequence.
Or the harpoon. The harpoon is dope.
Yeah. That's probably it. But I feel like this in most movies that kind of try to capitalize on 3D don't use it as much as they probably should for really selling it as a 3D movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sidebar, it completely sucks for folks like me who have horrible vision to begin with. I'm already wearing glasses all the time. I'm like, here, put these over the ones you already are wearing. Wear 2 glasses so you can see this in its amazing 3D format.
You're like, awesome, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, I'm already weighted enough. Can you put more things on me?
This is great. Now I have to deal with 2 glares. Like,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, but yeah, Jason is back, and this is 82, right? So everybody was trying to hit this 3D ball out of the park.
Right. Yep, they're all terrified of cable. They don't know what they're gonna do. So this is their element to bring folks into the theater. Most horror movies around this time were all jumping on that craze. But I don't ever think of 3D when I think of this movie, even though the credits are literally jumping out at you.
Sweet opening music though too.
Yeah, we have the disco theme is what I think of first, and second it's the introduction of this. This is the look of Jason that will permeate through the rest of the series, because we had no Jason in the first one. We had the Phantom Killer from Texarkana in part 2.
No trumpet though. No trumpet kill.
No trumpet kills. But here's where we have the introduction of the hockey mask that will stay forever. All thanks to fan favorite Shelley.
Everybody loves Shelley. So and
Shelley's the Eeyore of this movie here. He would be fine if he would just embrace everything and roll with it, but no, everything's a woe is me.
Oh god, he is a wet blanket. He is every emo teen. He is definitely like the emo teens of the 2000s. If this was made now, he'd be played by Sad Eye Boy that's in the Elm Street reboot.
Kyle
Gallner.
Gallner?
Kyle Gallner, and I'm sad all the time. Let me put some eyeliner on. But now he's a fucking super beefcake dude. So, you know,
I mean,
Gallner grew up.
Yeah, but I mean, Shelley at one point in this movie says, "Oh, what are you still doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, everyone else went skinny dipping. I'm not skinny enough." And like, you're not that fat.
Party fucking hard. Well, I mean, it's the 80s, so it's like, oh, he's pudgy. And then they got to call him, you know, tubby and all that stuff. It's like, that's not fat.
I would welcome being in Shelley shape.
Don't say that out loud ever again. That's stuck to tape, dude. Don't.
I would love to be in Shelley shape. He's fine. Like everyone else is, yeah, skinny and wearing probably single digit number size jeans. But like, what is Shelly? Was he a 34 waist?
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh, yeah, slow down. I remember 34 waist in high school.
I remember my first beer.
Yeah.
Holy
Speaking
moly.
Need to crack that open.
Get that beer flowing, sir. But you said fan favorite, so like, Shelly the fan favorite who gives us this mask essentially. Oddly enough, even among our own ranks, right? This is not a fan favorite. Mr. Remix is I don't want to say new to the franchise because he's been with us for 3+ years now, or 4 years. It's been a hot minute, and he was introduced to these films, and he doesn't care a great deal for this movie. So I mean, it doesn't win everybody over. I get it, but yeah, he's not a fan. Are you, sir?
Nah, 1 and 3. Just don't love them.
Don't love 1 and 3. Well,
I just think because
are we in 3D now?
we're trying. It's hard. I don't know why I don't like 3. I prefer the remake of 3.
Either. Make us normal again. No one's gonna want to look at this.
Well, I'll tell you this. With 3, right? 3's a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a slow burn because it's not a slow burn, but it definitely has kind of a trudging, a little bit of trudging to it, and I don't know what it is specifically that gives it that like trudge, but I feel it too when I watch it. I'm like, but it kind of capitalizes on that formula, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all have that same formula of seeing the killer's hands, seeing the killer's feet, seeing the killer's weapon, and then the last 20, 30 minutes or so giving us that killer like a reward, like, hey, thanks for sticking it out, here he is. And the best part with this movie for me is it is a super payoff once he's got that mask on. Like, it's iconic, it's amazing. He's doing that the Brooker shuffle, he's after you, dude.
I was going to ask, do you recall your first time or your first interactions? How did this movie come across your radar? When did it come across your radar?
I can't pinpoint the exact year, but
I can't either.
It's got to be in between 93 and 95 because we lived in a very specific house, and there was probably misremembering, I want to say it was like a USA Up All Night.
Oh yeah, they used to.
And they do like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I'm living the Demolition Man life of I love watching the old USA promo bits on YouTube where it's just advertisements for all these movies lined up in a row.
And then, once it got later, you get the sex phone line commercials and shit. But, it seems to me there was going to be this Friday the 13th marathon. I can remember the events of the evening. But it had to have been summer. I know that I was having a friend who was going to spend the night, and he came over after dinner. Well, coincidentally, like after he had eaten dinner, they had started part 1, and I was watching part 1, and he was like, "Oh, let's play Sega. Let's do this. Let's do that." And I was like, "No, I think I'm like, this is my night. I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna watch all 3 of these. I'm taping them, but I'm gonna watch all 3 of them." And he got bored like midway through 1 and then just went home. So I stayed up and watched 1, 2, 3. I'd say like 94, 95-ish.
That feels wicked late by comparison. This was one of the first 2 introductions to the series I had because we had a friend of the family that there was a brief time where my mom was doing some like house cleaning work for a few folks, and one was a good friend of hers, and she had a big extensive VHS collection,
like you do.
Yeah, all dub tapes too, so 3 movies to a tape easily. And I remember occasionally I'd ask to borrow a couple because they just had a decent amount, and the 2 Friday the 13th they had I would always borrow, and it was part 3 and part 5. So my introductions probably 87, 88,
That's
89
excellent.
at the latest. I was introduced to parts 3 and 5 first. So
Very cool.
Yeah, through a dub tapes is where I got my introduction, and it took a long time before I even knew that they were called Friday the 13th. I was super young, and we just referred to him as, you want to watch the Jason movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Jasons. That's, when you're growing up, yeah, you're becoming like, I want to watch a Freddy movie, a Jason movie, or a Michael Myers movie. Like that, they don't even have names. They're just the icons.
Yeah, Jason 3.
Yeah.
Video store asks, why the hockey mask? Is there a connection into the sport or just random? I wish there was a connection to the sport. It's always highly debated between like 2 or 3 folks who are like, who was a hockey fan who thought to grab this in production. In the story, it's just Shelley just has this crate of shit that he brings with him on this weekend camp trip that includes a wetsuit, like a bank robbing,
the never-ending picnic basket, I tell you.
Yeah, that's super clear. He's got a machete that's got an axe wound with his hair stuck to it, so he can attach it to his own head, so it looks like he has a axe wound to the noggin, and this hockey mask and a harpoon gun in there too. So like, yeah, all this stuff he decides to load up and take on a weekend where he's gonna meet a girl he's hooked up with for the first time. Let me load up my wetsuit, various face masks, fake weaponry, and all this stuff. She'll be impressed with this, surely. Yeah.
All he's missing is like rubber dog poop and rubber vomit, like like.
So you just have to adapt to the weird element of 2 ends where he's wearing overalls, a blue plaid shirt, and long stringy hair, to this movie that takes place the next day.
Yeah, continuing like the day into the next day, like they literally carry over.
I assume he decides to do a complete wardrobe change. I'm guessing from the guy who runs the grocery store. Gets a new pair of pants, a green shirt that looks like Charlie from It's Always Sunny. And now he doesn't have any hair. Now he's just got a lumpy noggin.
I just think there's like radiation in between Crystal Lake and that convenience store. It's just like made his hair fall out. Bloated him.
Because he's got like a Hills Have Eyes, hairy, mountain man look to him at the end of 2, and somehow he starts 3 and he's hairless entirely.
And fucking jacked, by the way. Body types completely change, but it is what it is. So many people say it was my idea for the hockey mask.
He's a complete klutz in part 2. He's falling over stuff. People are able to overpower him.
Yeah, dinging him in the balls and stuff. Yeah.
He falls off a chair.
Yeah, it's missing that Benny Hill music.
Stuff that you couldn't probably convince Kane Hodder to do as Jason.
He'd be like,
stand on a chair to fool people to think you've left the room, and then have that chair collapse under your weight.
Could you imagine having that meeting with Kane? He's just sitting across the table like,
now stand on this chair, like
Jason
you're trying to
do that.
Slick. Maybe that's why he wasn't in Freddy versus Jason. They're like, well, he's gonna just put up roadblocks for all the goofy things we want him to do. So we'll just recast him with a Canadian who will just say, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. What if you're a pinball in an imaginary pinball machine, and then Kane's just like, big old chest heave.
He's like they just keep altering. Like, well, fine. If you don't want to do that, what if we put actual like pinball sounds as you bounce off things? Pray I don't want to do this deal any further.
Good Lord. We'll get to that. And we haven't done a live stream on that, which is odd, but
soon, because this month, this year marks the 20-year anniversary. So not saying it's not coming, but saying it might be coming in a couple.
Saying
weeks.
Get ready. But so how do you feel? I mean, we get the hockey mask, we get the new, the green, and we get the khaki pants and the loafers or whatever they are. But like, how do you feel?
They're like slacks.
Yeah, they're like in between blue and gray, and then by part 4 they're kind of a brown. But how do you feel now? Like this new Jason, kind of thruck, got that big old neck thing going on.
I mean, it's a look that would only work then. Like, I can't imagine any like slasher villain deciding in part 3 to wear a different thing on his face and people would accept it. People lose their minds now if some if some killer that was in, if Tapehead all of a sudden in the next movie decides I'm gonna wear a catcher's mitt over my
sunglasses instead of VHS tapes.
Yeah. But it's those glasses that you can flip up.
Oh, like Chris Farley.
Yeah. Like, I'm just gonna wear these, and it's gonna be my definitive look. Like, people would lose their minds. It would never fly today because everyone's angry about stuff. But it worked then. It would not work now. And it's funny even also because I don't know when. Even being a hockey guy, I'd have no idea when they decided to switch out the masks for goalies to look and be a lot more safe than these things, which I mean they're safe-ish, but not great.
Yeah, no, I mean you're still gonna really feel that impact because it's right up against your fucking skull.
Yeah, there's no give space in between. Like, oh, you get hit with a puck, and like, oh, there's at least some give before it would actually hit me. This is just your skin covered by a thicker plastic.
It's the 80s, baby. You know.
Yeah.
Just take it. You're an athlete. You know, you train for this.
But long and the short of it is, everybody wants to take credit for it because it's iconic. But of course, if it failed, definitely it'd be like it'd probably be the same thing. Like, who was the dumbest to pick this? Yeah, he did.
Everybody takes wants to take credit for it, including me. I was there. It was all me. But
I'm the guy that told Slash he should wear the top hat.
That's right, yeah. Changed Guns N' Roses forever. But I don't know, man. This to me is one of those like blueprint films, right? Everything, the way that this movie moves, even though I was saying earlier, there's a lot of to me a little like slug chug, but this is really like nailing it down. We got
I would guess, I'm just guessing, I think your slug chug mentality comes from, we're used to like Jason making his way around town and eventually setting up shop in the final location in the third act. This movie, he leaves the barn that he is killed in part 2 and just goes to another barn and stays there, and he's there for 90% of the film.
True. Yeah, I suppose that's it.
And it's just frustrating because it's, as opposed to him running into people and killing them on his path, he's just got to sit in the barn and hang out till people decide for whatever reason to keep going in this goddamn barn.
Wait until nighttime so you can slink and sneak about.
I don't know what it is about this barn that looks like the barn from Twister with all these implements and stuff hanging in it. But I mean, it just draws the attention of 2 stoners, 3 bikers, and 2 or 3 others on the road trip that is like, what's going on in here?
Oh yeah, gotta check out this barn. Yeah.
Some bikers who are out for revenge, but I like that their revenge is like, hold up, babe, no one's gonna get hurt. Like, oh, bikers that are conscientious of other people's safety. Like, we're just gonna inconvenience them by taking their gas.
We're just gonna burn their barn to the ground. You know, property damage because they bumped into our bikes or whatever. Which, again, he bumped into one and knocked it down or whatever. Like, but then that biker had to overreact and.
Yeah, but I mean, they did come back and run over the wheel. So
well, hey, man, he punched the window out of the car. Look, I'm just saying.
But he was gonna, like, I would want to do it too. Somebody backed into my vehicle and just tried to take off, and I happen to catch them on the run. Yeah, I'm gonna be, oh, you gonna take off and leave me with this damage you're not gonna take no responsibility for.
Now let me 3D punch this chain through your window. Kia!
That's where Shelley is the piece of shit, because he takes no responsibility for running over 3 motorcycles and takes even less responsibility when he returns this borrowed car, by the way.
That's a load.
Like, oh yeah, your windshield and side mirror broken out.
Also, might I point out, he's never, ever, ever met Paul before. And then the very first time he runs into Paul, he's like, I gotta get out of here. Can I borrow your car? And Paul's like, sure. Like, who? Why? No. That's some brutal massacre stuff. Like, I gave the keys to the car and $100 The PA named Lewis. We don't have a PA named Lewis.
This Paul guy seems like a strange fella to begin with. I mean, he doesn't further that like knowledge later in the movie, because he does drive with lead crazy girl out to the woods and lets her, have her moment out in the woods talking with him. And he just leaves the car like running with the lights on and everything. Like, and he's surprised when the battery dies out after she tells this extensive long story with she could have just told in the car while they were driving somewhere.
Right. Yeah, and so then they're a million miles from home.
It's a far walk, because that happens early on in the movie, and it takes them to the climax of the film to get back after walking, because they leave the car because dead battery.
Yeah,
because he just the car door open and the lights on.
Yeah, it doesn't have a good battery like that car in Creepshow 2.
And I don't know maybe things were just lighter in the 80s, but they're not conveying to me this is summertime either, because he's wearing a Pamela Voorhees looking sweater
with a long sleeve button up underneath.
Yeah, underneath that, and she's wearing a jacket. Like, is this supposed to be the summertime? Why is all these people wearing layers?
Jonathan Davis, right? You guys mean Rick. Yeah, Rick. Because it was supposed to be Derek, but then they knocked it down to one syllable so she could yell Rick out the door. But not Paul. Paul's two. My bad.
I don't remember anybody's fucking name. Even though I've watched most of the movies in this series a lot of times, I'm not like, you're just dead meat walking. I don't remember anybody's name.
You're the splits guy or the handstand guy. Whatever.
Handstand guy is in the hammock with future
newscaster girl.
Yep.
Yup.
He's the only one I can pull a name up for. Maybe
we see her boobies, but
we got the other girl who turns him down. I don't think so.
Yeah, Vera.
Chuck and Chili, which if it wasn't tied to the game, I wouldn't have remembered their names either. Been like the stoners in the back who are ripping up two bongs that makes them think the van is on fire.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, which makes me wonder, rewatching this movie, like, I wonder if any of this movie ever happened at all after that, because they have a Super Troopers moment where they're just doing bong rips and passing a joint around in this van. Patrol car rolls up behind them. They think it's there to pull them over, so they start eating all the weed. Then they just take off. And they're like, oh
man, our whole weekend.
Like, they probably never even made it to where they're going. They're just tripping balls in the van the rest of the day. They just pulled over on the side of the road. Kind of like,
but the Rocky Mountains would be a hell of a lot more rocky.
They're like, Black Show, probably 40, 50 miles an hour, 8, and you pulled over in the medium.
What I was gonna say, which I think we talked about in the Deep Cut podcast, if I'm not mistaken. If we haven't, we've talked about it personally in real life, is how old are Chuck and Chili, and why are they with these teenagers? It's very weird.
Are they teenagers? They all seem like they could be early 20s.
I'd put them maybe 19, 20, but like, I'm just going to throw this out there. I'd say Chuck's 35, maybe. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's kind of weird, dude. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. Like, maybe they're the connection for the drugs. So they're like, but yeah, you guys can come with. If you
besides handstand splits guy, I don't think anyone else seems to be interested in it.
True. So maybe they're like his connection. They're his drug dealers, and then.
But who takes their drug dealer on a vacation with them?
I don't know. It's the 80s. I don't know how this thing works, but it's like,
I'm going to go on a road trip. Let me call my weed guy to see if he's free this week to come with us.
Isn't that the plot of Cabin in the Woods?
They don't, well, I mean, he's not their supplier, and he's the only one that really smokes, Marty. So, but I mean, I don't know, man, it's weird.
There's not like a 10-year age gap between them either.
Yeah, they're all buddies, but and one of them just happens to be a stoner. But with this one, I don't know, man. Always thought it was weird. Don't know how the chat feels. Don't know how you feel. I just always thought it was a little strange. But
a lot of things that are kind of strange about this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It goes off the rails a little bit here and there. But I know Snarls is a.
Why in the world we need two people taking a shit in a 3D movie?
poops are funny. I don't know.
All right, I've got another one.
What do you got?
Scooby-Doo. Ain't no way Fred and fucking Shaggy are friends. Shaggy's a dealer. Hundo P.
Maybe. I don't know.
I bet an age gap between them, though.
Maybe just a little, but not like 10, 15 years or something.
I don't know. Shaggy's got some full-on face goatee. You're looking a little like Shaggy right now, too.
I can't do that voice, otherwise I would.
Like Zoink Scoob.
There it is.
That's crazy.
Casey Kasem over there. But it does have. I was gonna bring this up. But one of my, it's after one of the poop scenes.
I was like, we have our grocery store guy taking his god awful shit.
It doesn't even wipe, which is.
Well, you saw his tidy brownies. I don't think he does wipe at all anyway. Chili, or no, Chuck that starts to take a shit, and then he gets some. Yeah, he gets a demon's girlfriend from part 5 coming up and shaking the outhouse on him.
Better hope Snake doesn't crawl up there and bite your ass. But
there's definitely that possibility in this movie as opposed to 5.
Oh yeah. You got to be wary of outhouses, man. Just especially like out in a cabin that is like your family cabin that you go to maybe once a year. Like, better be out there with like Raid and all kinds of sprays, and because it's just been in nature for a year. Not sitting on that. Telling you, not doing it. But
nothing's going on at this house. It makes which further is like, why is the one dude bringing hay to the top of the barn? Who's he bringing that up for? Why is he doing it?
Just so we could see his super sweet muscles, dude. Like, he's buff. He could maybe potentially be a tough guy. Plus, it's for the ladies. Muscles in 3D. But what I was getting at is my favorite scene in this movie that I think is my perfect encapsulation of this entire movie is when Chuck goes to the basement to fix the breaker. And Jason is behind him, and he's just barely illuminated, and then he fixes the light, far out or whatever with the little pin-up girl, and Jason's behind him. That whole thing to me that's the scene I think of when I think of Friday the 13th Part 3, and then the other thing I think of is the hands getting rolled up in the window, in the headbutt. But those things to me, like, and the disco theme, but those two scenes in particular, like, that's the look of Friday 3. That and super cool forest green doors that are made out of cardboard.
Yeah, I was like, didn't take Jacob Cobb that many fucking swings to get through a door.
Listen,
like, what's Brooker's problem here?
He had cancer, dude. Wait, that was later. Sorry.
What? Yeah, that was way, way later. Jason takes a lot of abuse in this movie too. Like, I love when he gets clocked by that log of wood.
Oh, it's so good. He takes the best bump ever.
This is also a movie where we hear Jason like make noise in pain, like he gets stabbed in the knee. Oh!
When he takes that log to the head, that audible like guffaw is so perfect.
Yeah, I put that on a GIF loop for me, and I would watch that all day.
Just getting flattened.
After getting the DVD of it, I instantly think of the eye popping sequence.
Oh, with the fish line, yeah.
Which is, and I love the preface to that is he goes outside, and then he's just being held like 3 feet from the door, and she can't hear him struggling, which is it's good, but it's funny at the same time. It's like you can't hear these two like 200-pound guys struggling 4 feet away from.
Well, it's windy,
Yeah, as always. Coming, the storm is always Jason.
True. And the shutters always, which that's another thing you think of when you think of this movie, is those shutters just flapping in the wind.
Flapping in the wind. But I'll get to it in a minute. I keep trying to get to like what my first thing.
My bad.
What the first scene I think of is when I think of this movie, but I have to preface it while I'm thinking of it. Speaking of, what is his name again? Is it not Paul?
No, not Paul. Rick.
Rick is. I was trying The wife was not helpful. I was trying to no, play along with me, help me out here. The other, speaking of the shutters, the other trope we get is someone's gonna get thrown through a window at some point.
Every time they cut to that wide of a living room, yeah.
Yeah, and we know this cabin well because we played the game, which includes the layout of this cabin to a T. So we know it inside and out and the dynamics of it. So the scene where we have Rick getting thrown through the window, we don't see him standing on the porch outside that window. So that must mean he's a good 4 feet further down in the grass.
Over the railing.
Yeah, does he have Rick by the collar and the waistband and doing a javelin spin? And
Sopranos thing, a 1, 2, 3.
Because he's going to throw him a good 10, 12 feet to clear the railing and get in it. Because when he's coming through the window, he's also going at an upward angle, too.
Yeah.
He's still ascending. So it's like a 15-foot throw
of
still going up.
Of a dude that's 6'3", 225, just rocketing him. Like Toka and Razor throwing the turtles around.
Yeah, this is the strength that the Jason and Freddy vs. Jason would have throwing the neon glow stick guy. He just goes sailing through this window at an upward angle.
Threw him from a cornfield to Springwood,
Yeah, probably throwing Rick from the barn.
Yeah,
through the house. But my thing I think of when I think of Friday the 13th Part 3, and this goes back to borrowing the VHS dub tape, is the dream sequence ending where he is maskless through that window, and when he blows through that door and chases after her in her mind. That is the image that's burned in my eyes, because it's our second to last time we'll ever see Jason run, and it's probably the most terrifying Jason run until we get to the reboot.
Yeah. Plus, he does that thing when he's at the window, that weird hiss. Ooh,
and
yeah,
clawing slightly at the window. And leaves the window, and we get that good 3 to 5 seconds of him, he's coming down the steps to get to the door, and then blows through that door, and you're like, shit.
Yeah, better start rowing. That the Friday the 13th Nintendo music comes on.
Oh, the Jason alarm.
Yeah, you better get the fuck going. Throw some rocks or something.
Oh, I need the torch so bad. That is instantly what I think of is we get maskless Jason for a hot minute, and him with that axe wound in his face.
Yeah,
chasing after her in the boat is what I always think of first and foremost.
Nice. Yeah, there's so many just perfect moments in this movie. Even though this movie has some shortcomings, but
maybe the replacement for Ralph is we have the Buck Flower stand-in.
Oh boy, yeah, that guy couldn't carry Crazy Ralph's bucket hat or fit in Buck Flower's trench coat. He's all right, but
just sleeping in the street with a shit stain up his pants, and he's carrying around an eyeball.
Yeah, it's very odd. Yeah.
Whose body is that he found?
I don't know, but yeah, it could be that the fat cop from Part 2 could be his eyeball. I don't know. Just spitballing here, but yeah, no, he's not great. I'm not the biggest fan of the bikers, but it's a way to sneak in a couple more bodies to get iced. But I don't know. I'm cool with just the vacationing kids. Everybody does get some good comeuppance too, and someone brought it up in the chat too. Said there's some fairly decent gore in this movie, and that's true. The knife through the chest when the girl's in the hammock is top notch. Dude getting, handstand dude in the crotch with the axe, really good. And then later he's split in half above the hammock.
He's folded up like laundry overhead over the hammock.
Wet yo-yo having laundry. I don't know. It's gross.
That looks good. It's not bad, but it's okay. The when he's taking out the one biker, when he cuts his hand off, and we get off screen him just hacking him nonstop.
Yeah, I always thought he was beating him with a wrench or something, rush busting him.
I mean, either way, like I get it because he thought he'd killed him already, and he comes back. I was like, well, he's going to take another 40 whacks to make sure he's not coming up again.
But Matt O'Brien. Go ahead.
I was gonna say this is also one of the first ones I can think of where we get the if you stab them anywhere in the abdomen, they will just die.
They just drop. Yeah.
Yeah, like he stabs the other biker with the pitchfork, which is a cool shot when he's feeling it poking out his back, but he's just
blood on the cigarette. That's a nice little touch.
It's a nice touch, but he makes no noise, and they fatally wounded him by stabbing him all the way through in the stomach. Like I always go back to Very Bad Things. Like it takes that usher guy like forever to die in the bathroom when they lock him up.
I spit on your grave,
Or even part 7 of this series when the dipshit at the refrigerator gets stabbed in the stomach and he just drops like a rock.
Yeah, slasher movies need more like Saving Private Ryan level trauma. Like you're on the ground crying for your mom, like mama. Like yeah, you're dying. It's over, dude.
They need that Paul Rubens Buffy the Vampire Slayer death.
Speaking of Paul Rubens, I don't know if you got an audio thing queued up, but
it's weird to honor him in this movie, but sure, Paul Rubens.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, bummer. Also, we already brought it up, but Richard Brooker, who plays Jason in this movie, cancer got them both.
Yep.
Rest in peace.
But I do have a sweet Part 3 poster that he is autographed.
Super cool. That's selfish, but we were like days away from meeting him, and then he passed away.
That's the second slasher icon we almost got to meet, and then
Gunner.
died right before we had the chance to.
That's why we called Megan and I called that year DeathCon, because there was a lot of people we were supposed to meet, and they all passed away. So again, selfish, because I'm like, man, I could have met him, but damn it.
Just made it one more month.
Yeah, you're selfish.
Yeah. You knew I bought tickets to see you, just for you, and you just had to cash out.
Take the chemo, stick it out, come see me, take my $20. Just kidding. I know that's super insensitive. I'm just kidding. Kind of, but really, yeah, I am.
Yeah, just joke, but really, seriously, I got him.
Sweet having his name.
I got you. Which is weird because it's not probably in my top. Not in my top 3 of the Friday the 13th, this movie, but I do have both the poster designs for it in full 18 by 24 framed posters. Yeah, in the house that came out for this, and the one that sign is in the living room upstairs.
And that's the original artwork.
One of the two. There's 2 original artworks that I know of, and one's him shattering through like a window that's in 3D, and then the other one where it's the coming out from behind the shower curtain.
I love both of those.
Both those we will see in a future segment.
Yeah, they're top notch. That's I don't want to go too far off topic because we're just talking the movie, but like, man, that's one thing that those early Friday the 13th. Well, I guess I'd go all the way to 7. Have those really, really cool covers. 5's a little disappointing, but like up to 7, they got a really unique style to them. 8's awesome, and 9 is awesome, but like they're a little different from the other posters.
It's got a different feel, but also that something that this movie has that they stop at some point. Mainly because the rights are an issue and they're up to like part 8, so it's hard to do it. But if you've not seen previous Friday the 13th, they do an all right job in the first 10 minutes of like, well, we'll catch you up. Like it's a TV show. Like we'll give you the last 10 minutes of the previous movie so you know where we're going from here.
Yeah, or then later in the franchise, we do like an entire franchise recap. Like, let's tell a little story, show you a little bit from each movie, like give you some super cool highlight reel, essentially. But yeah, this was that early trend where we're just going to get the last 20 minutes of the previous film. Like, man, we shot everything in the script and it was only 60 minutes. Put the last half hour of the first movie in. Who gives a fuck? Like, it works.
That'll get us over that mark.
Stretch out the credit music. Tell Harry Manfredini to play that violin a little bit slower.
They asked if the kids killed throughout the series is Jason's mum the only one to express anger or seek revenge. I mean,
yeah, we got the killer in 5.
Yeah, we have Jason seeking revenge, I would say, in 2, and then it's just kind of he doesn't know really what else to do. I think through 3 and 4, just maybe a little bit of some Texas Chainsaw effect of like these people just keep showing up at my establishments. These kids keep killing them all over my property.
We have had a doozy of a day. So speaking of that, so earlier today, I have this movie on. I'm kind of it's background noise, doing the thing. My son's down here with me, and he asked me, because we always kind of talk about like when a franchise starts to milk things. Like, you know, he's brought up Fast and the Furious the other day, and he's like, they made 10 of those? Like, they're just literally milking it. And I'm like, yeah. So earlier today, I'm kind of doing my thing, and he's on the couch watching the movie, and he goes, when do you think Friday the 13th was milking it? And I said, right after the first one. The first one was essentially a way so Sean Cunningham could make some money, so he could do that. I think it was like a kids movie, right? He wanted to do, but then
he did do like a soccer movie, but then saw like there's money to do this, so yeah, he just announced Friday the 13th as a movie and then just trying to figure out what in the world it would be once he had it put in the paper. Like, here it is. I'm like, all right, what is it? Shit, well, I guess we better make something of it. And it was going to be exactly like Halloween was, in the aspect of it's going to be a different story involving the date of Friday the 13th. But everyone that was making decisions around him was like, I should probably involve this character Jason that's at the end of that first movie.
Yeah, and that's kind of like I was saying. I just feel like it made money, and you know, Sean. I mean,
they all kept making money, so that's why they kept making them. But yeah, just trying to fill in the logic gap from 1 to 2. Yeah, you're already going like, yeah, the stuff already doesn't, like, he goes from like either dead or a teenager to 35 years old, living in the woods, toilet that's attached to nothing.
Well, you know, and again, we talk about this a lot, whether it's here or on the Deep Cut. We talk about these franchises. Again, in the 80s, right? It was, you're just going to take what you can get and be happy with it. Just be glad that there's a new one this year and a new one next year and a new one next year. This is before Saw and all that stuff, where, you know, these were our movies that were coming out every season. We were getting a new Freddy. We were getting a new Jason. And, you know, the 100 floors ain't all going to be winners. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing what they can.
Yeah, and this is in the era, yeah, like you said, like, you'll take what you can get. They're not bound by the rules of today where everything has to make sense. Like, if you mentioned Saw, and Saw's being talked about right now in chat. It was like, I would have an ulcer the size of Cincinnati because they have to make everything make sense in the movies now, sequel to sequel, and you can only go back in time so many times. But this era, they're like, fuck it, he's 30 years old now and lives in the woods. They're like, now he's a zombie, essentially.
And you gotta
now
go
he's going to space.
Now it's the paramedic. Whatever it is, you gotta go. Now there's telekinesis. Yep. You go, okay.
Now he's a paramedic.
Yeah. Gotcha. But yeah, you take what you can get and you're just happy with it. You know, it was a Friday the 13th film every year for a good standing 8 years. You know, they were knocking them out, baby. And
Jordan, it doesn't bother me the Jason toilet. It's just when we did it for the podcast, that was just something that stood out. I'm like, wait, this doesn't make any sense. Like, he built this shack in the woods and just ripped the toilet out from one of the stalls. Like, there's no plumbing to that.
He dug a trench, like, what was it? The Romans, they like pooped in a hole and it had like a little, they'd splash some water down it and it would.
You think that Jason had like a garden till, like he's just doing like a tunnel just so deep and pulling like with a claw? Like, he needs at least 3 garden tools to make this.
Plenty of implements, plenty of that he's stealing from barns and from the camps. He stole a toilet from the camp. You tell me he can't steal a hoe?
A hoe and then a claw? I mean, sure, I guess.
Rototiller out there just making a poop trench.
Going down though, does he have a stick beside the toilet? He's just using the jam, his poo down the slot further. Like, there's no water pressure to push things down. There's no assisting. Like,
maybe he pisses like a water hose, man. He's a mongoloid. You don't know how they pee.
I don't. I wouldn't think, how you were born would affect how you piss necessarily, but
it affected how I do it. I gotta stand way back. Just kidding. I don't.
No, just the fun things that I amuse myself with. I'm like,
no, it's ridiculous. I love
nobody
it.
Brought up this that he has a shitter in his shed that goes to nowhere. Like, he's not evolved to where he's made plumbing. Clearly, look at the house design. He's not made plumbing.
Yeah, no.
So he's just like, he's probably hitting the handle too, doing nothing.
Look at him pretending he's smart.
Look at him flushing his shit like a little adult man.
playing with toys like a little fucking kid.
And a hose that he has that runs off the rainwater off of his makeshift tinfoil roof that flows directly into the top of the tank lid.
Like eating Muffin's corpse while he's pooping. Or that's on part 2. We're all the way back to part 2. But he
doesn't eat the. He's not Michael Myers, even though he looks a lot like Michael Myers.
True, but different. Not.
Yeah.
He does some smart stuff.
He's another maniac who has a weird family history that wears a white mask and doesn't talk and kills people with sharp implements.
Yes.
One guy's name starts with an M. This one is a J. Very different.
But he didn't spend 15 years in a sanitarium. He spent 15 years at the bottom of a lake, I think, or not.
Washed up down the river and just came out and decided, I guess I live here now.
I live in a shack down by the river. Yeah, so now he found some new cozy digs. He's gonna move into the barn at Higgins Haven, and wouldn't you know it, his past sexual assault victim comes back to overcome her potential sexual assault.
She's crazy. I don't know if any of this stuff happened.
Looney is a shithouse rat, as they say.
It would make no continuity sense, because if this happened years ago, why does that guy that looks like now Jason look like now Jason when it should look like part 2 Jason if it is that same guy? And then it's how in the world that they get from whatever happened to that between those two to her waking up in her own bed again. Like, who's not telling somebody something? She's just crazy and just had an excuse to go further crazy. You see her loaded in the back of that cop car in this movie, she's gone.
I think Rick just slipped her a roofie and date raped her, and she's just putting the pieces together. Like somebody.
Rick's just a doormat. He's just a human doormat.
But
a muscular doormat.
He did give up a weekend with the Mary Jo Conrad to go get his eyeball popped out. So.
But again, really, did he? We never see this Mary Jo Conrad. We don't know if more than likely he just got turned down. She's like, nah, I'm gonna go be with this person right now. You go take your bug vehicle and go have it abused by some randos at the cabin you go to. We don't know that's the case. Just like we really have no idea if what's her name is really pregnant or if she's just bullshitting the rest of the crew.
Which, again, the 80s, man. When you're pregnant and you can be like, I'm not gonna smoke, but I'll drink.
Do you think, because I re-asked the wife, I was like, do you think that she is pregnant? Because I totally interpreted this time and she's like, just bullshitting them. Because they're just talking about that she pisses a lot. She's like, that's what happens when you're pregnant.
She's pregnant. She's giving that baby fetal alcohol syndrome so we can have Jason 2.0 if it would have been born.
you're trying to do the math of like she would probably be 3 weeks in of knowing if she knew. I'm like, could you even know that early in that time? Like, didn't you not know until you're probably 6 months in the late 80s? Like, technology was probably so late. I was like, I think she's bullshit. I don't think she is at all.
Either way, she gone.
What say chat people? Is what's her name pregnant in Friday the 13th Part
Debbie?
3? Is Debbie pregnant, or is Debbie pulling the wool over the eyes?
Trying to keep him. Why would Why would she want to give him up? You know, he plays with his yo-yo and likes to juggle. Like, he's a keeper.
Yeah, clearly he needs a reality check into like, you need to get a real job and do something other than playing with your toys if we're going to be together. You're in your 20s and you're still just yo-yoing.
Now, what's that Mitch Hedberg joke? I just always wanted to get really good at the yo-yo. So when people talked about me, they would always be like, hey, do you know Mitch, that guy who kicks ass with the yo-yo? What a weird thing to be like your thing. Like, man, people are going to know me as the yo-yo guy.
But I mean, that's probably the equivalent of like being a stream gamer in that time.
A TikToker.
Yeah, I can juggle and yo-yo.
I'm sweet at walk the dog. Check this out.
I mean, I still can't do either one of those things. I can't juggle or do shit with a yo-yo. Like, all right, a couple of times it'll come back to me, but eventually it's going like, all right, it's done.
Yeah. Let's see. Freddie Voorhees said, I guess her death technically counts like an abortion too. Damn. Jason's brutal in this movie. Yeah. He pulls no punches, dude. Everybody that can get it gets it.
But I mean, he didn't know that.
That's true.
She's not showing. She's just meat for the slaughter. It's not like she was like, but wait,
the baby. Yeah, like the Predator and Predator 2. Like, can see Maria Conchita Alonso's baby. Like, I'm gonna leave it. Like,
Jason can't smell the fetus.
He's got that. Yeah, the mongoloid heat vision. I don't know.
He doesn't have a super sniffer. He just has super strength.
Why has no one made a trailer of the Friday the 13th movies with the Predator as the killer?
You totally could.
That would be badass.
But instead it has to be Jason, like, stretching the trees down. Because I was getting to that. Jason goes ultra commando in this movie. He does he's dropping bodies in weird spots and leaving bodies, and, you know, this is the beginning of that. Because part 2, those traps were...
So he learned from his ma.
Yeah.
Through osmosis, I guess.
Some Rambo business going on. Because in part 2, there's a lot of traps, but we're led to believe, just through that one line of dialogue, that it was Paul. Like, he had the snare to catch whatever.
I mean, he's eating something.
Yeah.
He's still
Jason's doing some nifty little, hiding bodies in closets and stuff like that.
My hand.
Yeah. That scene too, when she comes at him with the knife, and he's still big and buff and tough, but he's like, like, don't be stabbing me with that. Like,
dodging. Also, you wouldn't see Kane doing.
Yeah, slipping the knife, and then straight to the knee.
Whoa, you can't catch me.
My Gwildor Award in this movie goes to the stunt double of her when she's hanging out the window, when Jason's got a hold of her coat, and that wig is so like Nightmare on Elm Street 4 with the nunchucks. Like, that ain't even the same hair color. What's going on here? So that stunt performer.
I'm Gwildoring the grocery store owner, because he probably the reason we have regulations and shit nowadays, because he's just walking around his own store, just taking bites at it. Like, he still intends to sell that dozen donuts that's missed.
One?
Not a whole donut. He half a donut and puts it back in the box. So it's 11 and a half donuts. He's still selling that as a full 12.
Didn't I feed you enough at dinner? Also, yeah.
Pops open peanuts. He's eating those, drinking orange juice out of a container, putting the lid back on that. It's like, you're just grazing in your own supply, man. And people are going to be buying this shit, eating off you.
Gross. It's gross. He's gross. He's the... Yeah. I guess that's good. Yeah, he's the worst character in the movie. Good job.
Day flags.
He's eating fish food. You fat fuck. Just put the food. Stop.
It was the donut though that definitely set me off more than anything. He's like, does he have that shit? Puts it back in the box, folds it over, and then he gets caught by the wife.
Drinking room temperature orange juice ain't awesome either, but
Yeah, I feel like he's got it iced down, but I don't know what the plan is when he's done with it. Like, he just puts that all, like, does he got to carry that all one by one back to the freezer or whatever?
I don't.
Because he's also got a makeshift freezer in his outhouse or toilet area because he's drinking shit while he's sitting on the toilet, which I love that they piped in the sound effects of him shitting.
Yeah. All water poop.
Yeah.
That's
Smell
a
of
weird,
it included.
That's a weird thing, right? Black Christmas, like the original Black Christmas, like the house mother, she kept like whiskey and like books, and she kept one in the back of the toilet. She's like brushing her teeth and doing like shots of Jack.
It's cold water, so
yeah, and it's clean.
Right.
But
yeah,
a weird thing. I just always like.
I'm
I've never known anyone to do that in real life. So you do it and send me a snap. Like put something in there.
I'll put a room temperature beer in there tonight, and I'll drink it in the morning. And
yeah, and I have to see it, and you'd be like, "Damn, that's refreshing as shit."
Yeah. It's like piss is filtered through this at all.
Oh, yeah, it's just a weird thing, man. Yeah, I don't know.
It's break time anyway.
It is. We'll be right back. I don't know.
VHS is out. DVD is in. Good boy. Good boy. You can't rewind, asshole. Kill him.
Yeah, didn't that kid go missing years ago?
Don't say that. I ain't kill him. I'm scared, man. Jason, walking feet. Dance.
Being in the fridge in here.
Maybe your temperature's off. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I just
we're
use
back.
the toilet tank to keep my beer cold instead of the actual refrigerator, or
Please.
to stop this beer.
Post pictures of it in the Discord too, of your beverages of choice, just kicking it in the back tank of your toilet. And also, if any of you in the chat are in our Discord and you feel like experimenting along with evil, I might even try it tonight. I got a couple Arizona green teas. I got maybe a couple sodas.
Right, or,
Yeah.
you know, if you run a small grocery store, eat some of the supply and see if anyone will buy that.
Yeah, you know, put anything you want to keep cold in there, Tommy. But
all right, it's hour 2, and we got some things to get to. But we like this movie, but we need to go and speak to some real intelligent people who gave us their 2 cents on what the real deal going on with Friday the 13th Part 3 is. It's time for the Amazon 1-star reviews. This is Paramount. Do you have a Paramount?
we don't have a Paramount yet, do we?
No.
No,
Which one's
Paramount.
Which
Paramount's like the mountain.
one? Yeah, that's the first one we did.
Oh, okay, yeah, we do. Let's rock some
I'm
Paramount.
trying to find it.
I don't know where Paramount is.
That one.
Wait, oh, that was I.
Oh, that was
I just got. Yeah, I just.
that's
that
a
one.
different thing. That's
What
another
the fuck
one.
is it?
That's
Well,
I don't know
mother.
what's happening.
I'm just gonna
Mama?
swap out my Luxo ball real quick.
new animated ones.
Paramount, there it is.
Dude,
Paramount.
we've not done a
pushing
our movie yet.
30 FPS follow.
We're definitely running on all cylinders tonight.
Firing
Yeah,
away.
there we go.
There it is.
Why are we not? I can't hear.
Hated
I
it.
cannot hear. Our stream deck is broken.
Well,
I'm not sorry.
fix it.
Fix my Luxo ball now.
Beep, boop,
Fix
up. I don't even know
I
what
don't
those
even
words mean.
Know where my Luxo ball is.
Well, this is the fun part where I get to comb through different folks who hated this movie and told us on the Zons what they think about it. There was so many people that are complaining about the 3D So I just included maybe 2 on here just to include them. But I mean, I just scrolling through so many people bitching about the 3D. But
Is it true 3D?
well, here Ben S on April 19th, 2023 says 1 stars. It is not playing in 3D mode. The glasses did not come with it. No glasses won't play in 3D, and my 3D glasses. You forgot the second S. For my setup won't work either.
Booty hooty hoo.
So this guy in 2023 was just hell bent on watching this in 3D and pissed that he can't. Tony Campbell, April 27, 2013 says 1 stars. Boo. We saw this at the theater when it came out.
Nice.
Wow. So new TV and my husband must have this in our collection. We watched about 15 minutes of it. You have to use the old cardboard glasses that come with the DVD. 1 red, 1 green lens. Strained my eyes, won't watch it again.
Watch it in 2D. Butthole.
And just watch 2D and like put on a second pair of glasses and then complain to me about how difficult it is for you.
1 blue contact, 1 red contact. Woo.
Yeah.
Just live in 3D.
Maureen R on April 15, 2018, 1 stars. Not great, all over the place.
That's it?
That's all. Just all over the place. Rondell Dale Branch on Christmas Eve 2016.
Is this the real Rondell Dale Branch?
Nope, this is our working title.
Oh,
Rondell.
got you.
I would have told, no. Well, I've looked through everything the real Rondell Dale Branch reviewed. We have officially covered all his cinema, I believe, that he 1 starred that particular day.
Next week, his Weed Whacker.
Maybe. Yeah, we're going to do a 2-hour live show on the Benford 6100 Weed Whacker. But the working title, Rondell Dale Branch, says 1 stars. Jason, please retire. Too many of these made. ... Takes all the intrigue away. ... Gets ridiculous. ... You know what's going to happen next. ... No, he actually ends it with a period at all. We got 90 periods in there and not one at the end of his entire review.
Awesome.
Yeah. Joe on September 13th, 2014 says 1 stars. 1 stars. Uses red/blue 3D glasses, not worth the extra money.
The Joe does not like red and blue.
Yeah, but
3D.
where is he paying for extra 3D?
How do you extra 3D?
Yeah, like this movie was never released in like just 2D, or you want to pay $10 more and get the 3D version.
Mm-hmm.
All been included. Every one of them has been included. Unless you're buying this used, when someone didn't put the glasses back into it, which why would they keep it? But sometimes they do. There's no place where you're buying this where it's not optioned to be 3D.
Yeah, that's strange. I mean, streaming, like if you were to buy it streaming, it'd probably be like, this is the 2D version.
Is that extra, like, are they charging extra if it's 3D though? I figure it'd be the same either way, unless I think the only difference there is rent or own.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you would own it in 2D, so then you would have to own it again in 3D. So you'd be paying 2 times, right? I don't know if, like, I don't watch movies on, like...
Never been at the crossroads of I want to buy this streaming, but I don't know if I want to buy it in 2D or 3D format. I guess when it comes to that crossroads, I'll let you know.
What options are available?
I don't know. Wits End on New Year's Eve 2016 says 1 stars. Nudity unnecessary.
There's like a nipple in this movie.
Yeah, you gotta stretch to get the nudity. It's which is a shame because I would love to have more in a 3D movie.
Mm-hmm. What'd you say that name was?
Wits End.
That's nice. I was gonna say,
He shelled username from this movie.
What is a doctor treat?
Wits End.
Patience. Look at the elbow of my jacket. What's it doing? Wearing thin? Exactly. That was a stretch. No? A little last action hero for you.
Oh. There's a lot there. David S. Scanlon, January 12th, 2009, says 1.
Stars.
Horrible. I hated this Jason movie. It got hardly any suspense, predictable, and got stupid people doing stupid things. It's kind of a recycled version of the second and first Friday the 13th movies. Not recommended.
So you don't say, like, the formula that worked for part 1 gonna carry over?
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Yeah. Again. Alan Brown, January 8th, 2013. 1.
Stars.
Old format, poor picture quality. Was okay 30 years ago, but hard to enjoy with red-green format. The only good side is you don't need a 3D TV. Only in 2013.
So, on what planet are these colorblind bastards saying those are green? It's red and blue.
I've seen some green ones. I want to say the Jackass 3D glasses are green.
I don't know. It boggles my mind.
Ready vision, red and green.
Like something that is clearly blue. Like, I don't know if this debate ever happens in your house. I don't know if you guys are Gatorade people, but
No.
lemon lime Gatorade. What say you? Chat or you? What color is that?
Green.
You are a fucking liar. You're a liar, and anyone else who says green is a liar. It is yellow. I will break my wife's nose. Like, she's always like, it's green. I'm like, what? Do we have to change the lighting? Should I open the curtains? Let some natural light in here? What?
I'm looking at pictures on Google right now. It's green.
No. Lemon lime Gatorade, not Kool-Aid.
Oh, Gatorade.
Gatorade. No, I don't know nothing about no Kool-Aid. It's literally just the yellow Gatorade.
My best, but
Tell me that's green, Remix.
Okay.
I'll stab you in the eye.
This is a light green. This is yellow. There's
Yellow.
different
Those are
ones.
yellow. That is
This
yellow.
one's green.
Sorry about going off on that tangent when you're with the green 3D glasses.
Yeah, no, it's yellow. Some of them are green.
Maybe if one of them was blue, then it'd be more fitting for it. But the last 1 star I have, I love this username, Mr. Sad Bear.
Nice.
September 15th, 2015. He says 1.
Stars.
Look around for something better. Terrible, garbage 3D.
Can you read that in a sad bear voice?
That's the
Give me some sad. Yeah.
Look around for something better.
It's not very sad.
Garbage. Terrible 3D.
Scared.
I'm Mr. Sad Bear.
He lives under your bed. You eat your soul.
Mr. Sad Bear hates terrible 3D.
Lemon lime Gatorade is yellow. Thank you, Google. I mean, it's on the internet. It has to be true, right? So
Google is not a answering service. It is just a bunch of other jackasses putting their 2 cents in on it. So.
it's just the Wikipedia of search engines. I guess. All right. So now that we're done with that segment, Evil, with Mr. Sad Bear closing it out, making my day, I think I'm going to get a Mr. Sad Bear t-shirt. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good username. I like it a lot too.
Real good. Save him. Find everything he's ever done.
Yeah, I want to see what his 5-star reviews look like. Still didn't like this.
What's next, Evil?
I purposely set this up so we have a lucky 13, so we can't have a tie in this one, but I found 13 different movie poster designs for Friday the 13th Part 3 3D, and with however many folks we have watching, along with the 3 of us, we're going to determine one of 2 things on each one of these 13 poster designs. Is it money or mishap?
That music is Mr. Sad Bear's theme song.
Oh, it's time for him. Well, let's see here. It's time for
Mr. Sad Bear's 1-star reviews. Garbage 3D.
He's so sad. and angry at the same time. All right, so yeah, we will place the posters in the corresponding corners. Since we have so many, we'll try and move at a rapid pace because we're like chugging along through our second hour. So just pop them up. You let us know in the chat, money or mishap, and we'll put them where they belong.
It's hard to believe we have fun in this.
No kidding.
Nice.
This is pure money. This is Fright Rags or Gutter Garbs, I believe.
One of them, yeah. I was just like, this is a good combination of those two OG poster designs kind of mashed together, of a glass breaking through a window kind of thing, and the wood kind of carving design.
Mm-hmm. And the axe chop at the end when he brings his hands out.
Which I was gonna say, do you think that's a good definitive way to kill Jason? We have 12 different movies where he's gonna get killed in, minus the first one where it's drowned off screen. How do you like the axe in the head kill?
Oh, I love this, and it's also plausible for me to go, well, he could live because it's a metal hockey mask, and I would assume it would take the majority of the brunt of it, so he can lay there and look dead, which is why he's still breathing in part 4. So it's
pull that shit out, bro.
It's like, it's plausible, 80s horror plausible to be like, well, yeah, he's wearing a metal mask, man, like.
And again, good sound he makes too when he gets hit is ooh.
Oh yeah, and then drops it down. Or first he's like, huh, nuh-uh. Got to come at you a couple steps.
Like, oh, this is in 3D. You gotta make it work. Oh gosh,
that's a good $20 T-shirt design right there. Money, yeah, money. Jonathan Davis says,
totally a live stream. We can take some of that money too. For more bells and whistles for future things on the show.
Always can take
some of the money. You can mishap us with a thumbs down or money us with a thumbs up and actual money.
Jonathan Davis says this channel needs a young priest and an old priest. Christ compelling you. Oh, for the voice, yeah. You were doing the sad voice.
In general, this live stream needs an exorcism.
We do. Kidnap a Jehovah's Witness next time they knock and then be like, I'll listen to your hooplery if you come talk about my hooplery.
I got Mormons all over my neighborhood, so I can bring one of them in.
Yeah, just yoink them in.
Mormons are contractually obligated not to talk about your hooplery. I will let you know that now.
Talk about it.
They will not. They will play you in basketball and school your ass, but they will not talk about your hooplery. It's against their religion.
There ain't a Mormon in this town. Take me. I'm just kidding. I'm not good at basketball. I'm a midget.
I'll waffle you with a tire iron to beat you. That's about the best shot I got. But agree, this is money. Throw it in that money category. And,
your money.
And the chat all agrees too. I don't think anyone in the chat's like mishap.
Chris Harris is in the house. He had posted in, I think it was either Discord or messaged on Instagram, and said that he was coming back around. Long time no see, man. Thanks for coming and kicking it.
When the man comes around.
Hey, hear the trumpets, hear the pipers. Here it is, the other original.
Yeah, this is the one I have in the basement that I think might still have an original pair of 3D glasses on the back of the frame.
This is the inspiration for the NES colors.
This is awesome. Yeah, I love this. Pure money. Great.
Mask looks menacing.
It does.
Hand drawn too. Always going to get our approval with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's nothing that I don't like about this. Plus,
it looks like he's wearing a jacket though. So is this ground zero for what would be future Jacket Jason? Because it looks like he's wearing a jacket there.
It's just a long sleeve button up, baby.
That looks like a jacket.
Looks like a hoodie.
I refuse.
Like a robe, like he's in a college dorm, like doing initiations. You gotta throw this axe through the window if you want to join Lambda.
Bro, like wobbly, wobbly javelin. But no, there's plenty of like black space too, which is awesome for signatures with silver Sharpies. So yeah, this is pure money. I've never had a problem with this poster.
This is the most money poster we're gonna have.
I don't
We'll see
know.
about that. I love it.
Just the
Yeah,
fact
I like
that it's inspiration for the NES colors, that is by far my favorite.
It's super good.
I like the wood carving lettering.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool aspect. Just to this one, really.
Yeah, no, everything else is really stark white, right? Until we get
Yeah.
to like the Jason movies, like
Yeah.
Jason Takes Manhattan, which was still Friday 8, but then like Jason Goes to Hell is like chrome
There's
letters.
cool. Like the font is the same, but yeah, it's not done in like a wood
Mhm.
trim design like that.
Yeah, the fonts change in Jason Goes to Hell, and like Jason X,
Yeah.
Freddy versus Jason. They're more
Line Cinema takes over and like, yeah, we can't really call them Friday the 13th really now. We can just call them Jason movies. That's what they are.
Yep. On to the next. I think everybody's in agreement also with this. Money. This is the soundtrack on vinyl, I think. Maybe.
I believe so. But yeah, I mean it's eking by into money.
I like it. Like it would be it's like I said, it's a cool vinyl cover. It'd be a cool comic book cover if they did a comic book of 3.
That's what I feel it fits more in as a comic book looking cover.
Got that
Look
droopy eye. Yeah.
She's gonna hit it with that log, put that lazy eye right back to work.
I love the bloodshot in the eyes though. I think that's and then the light gleaming in the eyes. That's what's really like drawing me. Is the eyes.
Just the slope of the eye works in this because the eye holes are where they should be, and then you got a one slumped eye. I was like, yep, that's Jason or Sloth.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing a hockey.
Matt O'Brien says mishap. Jonathan Davis says money for an album cover. Yeah. Whoop. Just gave him the old whoop-de-doop. Totally fine now.
Now it's that meme of like I'm watching the movie and reading the credits at the same time, or the subtitles at the same time.
I don't know which part to give my attention to. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I like it. I get it if people don't. I know you're saying like it's eking by for you, but man, it's just nice art.
It is. I can't deny that.
And they like
that is. Now this reminds me of how it would be done if it was when they get redistributed by Paramount when they do those bullshit covers where they don't even try. Like this is how they would redo it. Like yeah, he's got level eyes. It just still looks cool, but it's not that.
Yeah, tell me you got one of those terrible Paramount reissues in here.
I believe I do.
Yeah. Paramount just doesn't care about Friday the 13th. That's just all there is to it.
The returns for it. That's why they're like ashamed the more they kept making like they like the money it brings in, but they're like, oh, well, how'd you get your revenue this year? Friday the 13th.
Jason movies. Yeah, it's money for me.
It has grit through their teeth.
It's got a mishap from Matt O'Brien. What do you say, Remix?
I think it's pretty good.
I think we'll just eke it on over into money. It's gonna be tough to
find. It's fun, but I don't know. I'm curious. I think we'll find one or two.
I'm sure there's some bad ones because I mean, we've seen some bad ones in person. So if they're in this, some of them are bad, but they're like tolerable. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is in the thumbnail. This is also either Gutter Garbs or Fright Rags. Amazing
that we have the backlit red and blue in the mask. Like I know we tried to make some shit like that. I know we've seen some people make artwork like that, like a mask that's on a canvas piece that has the cutouts in the back, and they have lights, red and blue lights shining through the eye holes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Very cool.
I'm kind of surprised this isn't like this feels like would have been the Scream Factory if they were doing custom art like they do for individual releases. That this would be it.
This has got to be why can't I think of his name? You know who I'm talking about, the artist that does a lot of this stuff. Or Devin Whitehead. Devin draws.
Devin Whitehead, or that Sam Hain 1992 guy that's gotten a lot of Gutter Garbs work lately. Definitely posting his stuff on Instagram all the time, which all of them are instant, like great phone wallpapers.
Oh, they're perfect. But they've got their styles are similar, but also pretty far apart. Like I feel like the Sam Hain guy, his stuff is super accurate. And then I feel like Devin Draws has a little bit more of like a comic book edge to it.
A little bit. They're definitely both very distinguished.
Yeah, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pure money for me. I'd wear a shirt of that. I'd get a full back tattoo of that. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Nothing else to say other than give me all that.
I love the eyeball flying. And then there's a lot of eye trauma on this poster, now that I think of it.
There is a double eye trauma. Both the same eye, too.
And glowing eyes. So, yeah, a lot of eye business happening here. Wonder what's...
I see what...
What on butts? Yeah, money, great collage, money.
I got
Groovy's
an
in the
eye.
house.
Good artwork.
Groovy, you better hang out for definitely that next half hour, because you know what's going to go down. We're going to need to know if places in Canada are real, and or if you have personally seen these cryptids that we're going to get to. But yeah, go on to the next.
That's the vinyl.
Yeah.
Like, I know somebody that has this.
I'm not like a massive fan of that. In concept, I really like it. You know, the audience sitting there watching it, Jason like coming forth from the screen. I think my issue is,
where's that axe coming from? Because he's holding a machete, and that axe is coming from the same side the machete hand would be.
same thing with that cleaver and that.
Oh yeah, where's that? Yeah,
they're all just flying at the screen.
Oh, weapons coming from.
My issue, I think, is that the color of his skin is almost too close to the color of his mask. And that's what's bothering me. And that's petty as shit. But, and also Friday the 13th being in blue when it could be that cool wood grain.
Yeah, but it's the red. Like, it looks like the opening credit font, so I'll still throw it in money.
It's like half off. I'll put it in money, but it's like not... Because again, it is hand-drawn art, so it's amazing. I just not a big fan of the coloring choices, which that's whatever. That's the colorist problem, not the artist problem. Unless they're the same person, then what are you guys doing?
All right. Next.
Mishap, says Matt O'Brien's. For vinyl, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's just gonna be money for sure. You got a Ghana one in here, Evil?
No, I couldn't find a Ghana one.
This is like this seems Asian to me.
Asian.
Is that weird? Is that weird to say? Like the eyes on the hockey mask seems like anime or something weird like that.
It's like a really good high school project.
Yeah.
Shelly's weird.
It's like a dude who airbrushes at like your state fair.
She looks so unenthused to be holding that axe. Like, just take the goddamn picture, mother.
It's pretty close to a Ghana poster, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Except it's not drawn on a potato sack.
It's too nice. No one's holding any machine guns. There's no severed limbs.
Helicopters.
Nothing's on fire. But yeah, mishap. Nah.
Those eyes in that mask, man. And then like the holes down here are tiny.
The angle of it, like it just looks like the angle of it seems like it's short on one side.
You got like a fat doofus hand going on.
But
I don't know.
Believe me, I would want to buy this for all the wrong reasons.
Like a pig's foot. I like pig feet.
The 3 victims' heads tattooed, and those would be great because they all look really fucking rough.
Yeah, it's pretty. Although if I drew this with colored pencil, I would think I was the man.
This would be top dollar high school project work, but like not for, not by comparison to everything else we've seen. So,
yeah, like I'd be super cool that I drew this in high school, and then I'd put it in my portfolio, and then like someone would look at it, and I'd go, "Yeah."
You should be hired for this job. You should definitely hire the Sam Hain guy instead.
I've gotten a lot better, but this is some of my earlier work.
Yeah, look how far I progressed.
Yeah, it's a benchmark art. That's what it is. But yeah, get this out of here. It's a. Ooh, this is neat.
Yeah, I like that.
Limited edition steelbook stuff right here, man. Like a really cool, shiny.
See, I just think it's that cardboard sticky tack cover over the.
It could be that, but I could like a super cool white steelbook.
You know what this looks like? This could be is the Friday the 13th coloring book.
Yeah, I'd buy that. Yeah, so pure money, pure money. Even got the dude pooping with the machete in his chest.
We've all been there.
True. What's the Pepto-Bismol jingle?
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Meat cleaver, yeah.
Jeez.
Meat cleaver and whiskey in the back of the toilet.
Me, I got stabbed in the chest.
I like the bloody trail. Yeah, it almost looks like it says like verses or something.
Yeah, I thought initially like, is that a 13 they just hidden the? No, just looks cool. That red really pops.
Right out of the guy's eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Money.
It's cool. It's cool.
And there's depth to the mask, which is not on the previous poster.
Yeah, Chrissy's or whatever her name is, the lead girl, her face isn't great.
Neither is dude on the toilet.
No, but
and he's not dying on the toilet.
It's forgivable. You know what it looks like? It looks kind of like what was that? Liquid Television on MTV, kind of like an Aeon Flux type of like long skinny heads.
T1000, like, Friday the 13th 1000.
Yeah, no, cool. Super cool.
Yeah.
Money.
Next.
Beep beep. Yeah, I've got this saved way back in like 2009. I was like, I'm going to get that tattooed on me. I love this.
I know some of it has this as a mini poster in their collection of their Friday the 13th stuff. So this is cool. This is a good menacing Jason. Looks sharp. Reminds me more of a Part 6 a little bit.
Yeah.
But still really good.
Yeah, no, I don't know where this came from, whether this is a comic book panel or
old. It's an old fan art. Like, this is one of the first things you find. You start looking for artwork or alternative artwork for movie posters.
And I will guarantee you and I were both doing that back in like 2009 when we had relatively fast internet. We're just looking up like Friday the 13th art, Nightmare on Elm Street art, and saving everything. You had like a folder. It was just.
I have a fucking album on my phone that's got like 218 Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street posters in it. Like,
mine's
I'll use wallpaper at some point, but I don't.
Mine's all just in my library. Like, I don't have folders for anything, but yeah, you just scroll through and I'm like, that I want a tattoo of, that I want a poster of, that.
Put all these on
shirt.
Yep.
No, money. This is money. If this is
everybody's saying money,
I would love to track down who drew this and then look at more of their work, because obviously this is from way like before my son was born. So this is old.
Who are you? We know you're watching. Reveal yourself and show us your other work.
Or you just, give it to me free for exposure. Or no.
Yeah, you've been waiting for your big break, and we're clearly the ones that you've been looking for to give it to you.
Listen, there are 15 people watching this. How many people are watching your live stream? So we got those are numbers, man. That's numbers.
We may get to 80, 90, maybe even 100 views within a week or two. So
yeah, if we don't get shadow banned, if I don't say any words I'm not supposed to,
that's like 200 eyeballs separated.
Think about it. Think about what I could do for you. Pure money.
This is the OG poster that I have signed by Brooker. Not
nice.
That one.
Man, this is gonna bother me. I have this. Who do I have it signed by?
Shelly.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Wow.
Did we? No. We didn't meet anybody else from this. My 5 is signed Debbie Sue Voorhees.
We got no one else. But this looks a lot like they did other posters that are similar to this.
Mm-hmm. This is pure money.
This is money. It's a minimalist. Like it's almost, I would want to almost give it a mishap just because of the lineup that we've had previously, but it's still money.
Oh no, this is so good. And the coolest thing about this is,
Good tagline too.
yeah, but this is pure 80s, right? So you could erase Friday the 13th and you could put any name, the hash slinging slasher, the shower stabber, whatever dumb name you want to put. I'm telling you, yeah, and it works. This is just perfect for insert killer here. And you put this in a newspaper or you put this in a full page in Fangoria, people are lining up around the block.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Awesome.
Yep. Now, like we got blood dripping into the 3D.
Mm-hmm. And the shower curtain is wet. Like.
Yep. The wood trim on the font, the new dimension and terror. This is all good shit. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I like the Is his hand green? What, you know what I mean? Like just a little bit of. Is that a monster? He's got like. Does he have a full head of hair? What's going on there? Like.
Yeah. Who is this businessman?
And what is his business at Higgins Haven?
Yep.
The poop stopper. Yeah, you could put any title on this, and it's working.
The man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Yeah, pure money.
Yeah.
So good. You say night stabber? Night guy?
That's a knife guy.
Knife guy. Yeah. Knife guy part.
Do that in any font. Oh, yeah, Knife Guy, the movie. I'll see it.
Sold. I'm going. Stabbed in the face. Stabbed in the shower. Yeah, pure money.
Next. Here's where it is.
Like he's got it's like a little vacuum cleaner. Like a.
I was gonna say, is that a cricket bat or the hose of a dirt devil there? What is bleeding that he's holding there?
That is. Awful.
I don't even know what it is.
I'm telling you, it's a little vacuum. Yeah.
Oh, vacuuming in 3D. Oh, I can't vacuum up wet stuff.
It's cowbell. Friday the 13th, Part 3. Always needed more cowbell.
Shiny cowbell. I would watch him beat someone to death with a cowbell.
Oh, please.
Bell boy.
This is, we were talking earlier, Paramount put out some deluxe editions in what, like, when the reboot came out, so like around 08, 09, like when they're gearing up for the reboot to hit theaters.
It was post this 8-pack setup, which even this like really nice 8-pack, which has some good bonus features and stuff on it. Each movie is split in 2 on each disc, so it's like each one is not getting its own just due. They're really kind of crammed together, thrown out. And we still get this now. Like I know this past year they put out Part 4 in a steelbook design with the original artwork on the cover, so it really looked cool. But yeah, they had a just thing like, well, just put it out again, maybe put a new commentary maybe on it, or just repackage it. Put the digital code on it this time, so instead of just DVD, they get DVD and digital, or Blu-ray DVD and digital. Like they just kept redoing these the whole time the lawsuit's going on, so you're never getting anything new, but like just keep churning these things out.
Yeah, and it's all like these are the transfers too. Like once we got these deluxe editions, I don't feel like it ever got any better. I even feel like the versions that we got in this,
the quality looks the same as it does right here, but this artwork is bullshit. Get it out of here.
It's trash. I'm pretty sure I told you this at some point in our friendship. There was one time around 09 when these were hitting the stores, you know. My mom was out like shopping at a Walmart, and then she called me and she's like, "You own all the Friday the 13th movies, right?" I'm like, "Duh." And she's like, "Well, I got you something. I'm gonna swing by." And she bought me all of these deluxe editions because Walmart had them on sale. So she just brought me a stack of all the deluxe editions with those terrible artworks. And I mean, they had special features, so you're like, yes. But man, that was arms crossed era me, where I was so like, look what they did. Look how they massacred my boy with these.
My boy.
Little Godfather. See, this is fire.
Yeah, I really like this. Really like this.
Absolute fire.
This is in my tops of these 13 posters.
Oh, it's
Great
gorgeous.
wallpaper too for your phone.
Cool ass tattoo. Also, like if it was negative, you got that negative space and you got that outline in blue.
Oh, or yeah, just switch out that blue for black. Yeah.
That's good. But you want the blue and the red, right, for like for the 3D.
Oh,
But
Yeah, but like the outline of the mask where everything is, just do that in black. So your skin tone is where all the black is on this poster.
yes, I'm picking up
Just-
what you're putting down.
Like my Batman tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Like how that is. Just do it that way.
Yeah, this is awesome. What was this for? This was for something specific.
Beats
'Cause
me.
I remember when this got like shared around and we were like, uh-huh. Maybe it was just like an event poster or like a anniversary poster or something.
I don't
Mondo,
know.
it's a Mondo poster, so it would have been like a screening, like an anniversary screening.
It's cool.
It's awesome. I love that the straps too, like one's upturned, so they're not just perfect in line. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Devil details. Good shit.
Top notch. Mondo lets us down occasionally, but not often. They're good at this type of style. That would make a phenomenal t-shirt. Absolutely.
T-shirt, hoodie, anything. Makes a good everything.
Mm-hmm. Just print out like a big giant decal and cover my fridge in it. Done. Yeah. Pure money.
Next.
Oh yeah, we talked about this one a while back, because this just got put out by Gutter Garbs, maybe.
I don't know. Okay.
It's close, right? Because you've got really detailed Jason, and then everything else has got this comic book look. I like the comic book look, so
Yeah, it's
I'm like,
okay.
yeah, this would be like one of those tin signs.
Yeah.
Right?
Again, I think this suffers only from all the art that came previously to it. Like if this, you just showed me this on a random Tuesday, I'd be like, that's awesome. But it's lost a little luster compared to everything else that we've already seen, but still money.
Yeah, no, it's money, but it's it's different. Yeah, this is your tin sign, maybe a comic book adaptation or something. Cool.
No.
Yeah, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
It's sweet. Got that cool, the way Jason looks in the middle. It's got a very like colored pencil look, and I like that look.
We're not a room on your side, just your head is sticking out now.
I know. This way. Right, Nintendo Jason behind me over there.
So on our 13th and final poster, what do we got? I don't know.
I don't like it. I like everything except Jason. I like seeing Shelly dead. I like seeing Debbie in her bikini.
Wow. Shelly dead in bikini. All right, we're on track. We're on
Got
track.
the van in the middle. 3D weed.
But I would probably be tempted to buy this if I saw it, like someone pencil drawing this at a show.
Oh yeah, like if we were at a con and like Daryl, what was his name? Daryl Woods, that guy, that artist. If he was drawing this, it'd be like, yep, here's $20. But I hate that mask though. Oof. Half off.
Yeah, I'll give it a mishap. Just
Got one mishap. Dig it. What do you say, Remix?
I like it.
You like it? Okay.
A lot cooler if the mask was more like that in the movie. It's got like it's angular, like 7, like just looks like a more aggressive mask.
It's just weird to me. Like the mask has a very distinct shape, and it's hard to draw. It's hard to draw something that's round and curvy.
I'm always just kind of hazy on whether or not I can see eyes.
Yeah. Sometimes it's cool. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, it's a real roll of the dice whether it's a good or a bad thing.
I think if you're gonna see them, you got to see both, and one's got to be fucked up.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
It looks good in like New Blood when we get this shot where you can just see one, like the slit of one eye,
Well,
kind of like.
but- So the reason that works is because his whole body's rotten. So with this, if you have one super clean eye, it could just be a normal crazy dude. You can see that other eye and it's droopy. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
he's
This
bad
guy
under there.
Looks like it could be Edge of the Axe killer.
Yeah, just your garden variety slice and dice.
Yes, yeah. It'll eke by in money.
His hand's weird.
But-
The longer I look at it, the more irritated I get.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's good, but it's not. But it is.
I like
But
that
It's weird.
I like the font in the blood. Like I like
Again, like that other one, like the red pops, but there's just something about it. I don't know.
tree branches kind of are like confusing me, like they're spiders.
I don't mind the tree branches or the moon or the blood splatter. Yeah, it may just come down to how the Jason design looks. Just something off about it, different. Definitely feels like a later Jason than a 3 Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, like fan art for a 6, 7, or 8.
Yeah, very 8.
Yeah.
I would say it feels more 8 to me, even though
Yeah.
the chevrons are incorrect. But
And the finger over that one spot makes me think it's where that chunk is out from 7, even though it's not. But I keep thinking that it is, but no, it's his finger blocking it. So that's another thing that messes with me. But yeah,
Jason is giving that masked magician's energy. Yeah.
he's revealing the secrets and telling us how wrestling moves are done.
I love that show. I love magic. Just so
Blank.
I don't know if anybody in the chat knows that about me, but I was an aspiring
Remember-
magician for a hot minute.
Egyptian magician.
I have mixed feelings about this poster. It looks like part 2
Yeah.
Jason with a hockey mask. Yeah.
Clumsy Jason.
Just so it's not awesome. I'm saying mishap. Wherever.
As the,
It can go right in the middle of the road, I spec.
even if it goes in the middle, money is the clear victor of the week.
Of course, man.
That would be.
There's so much. I mean, we could have spent 2 hours just looking at Friday the 13th Part 3 artwork. There's so much and so many talented people. They don't.
Believe me, it could totally be and probably will be a future live stream 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Franchise slasher movie poster day.
All day.
All day.
Sidebar, for anyone who has been with us for the long haul. Do you know what today's anniversary is, Evil?
Ugh, yes, I do.
What is it?
A terrible idea when you're like, we should do a 24-hour live stream, and we didn't quite make it 24 hours. And I remember when we got done, you were like, we should do a 48-hour some point. And I'm
You were
like,
like, I'll kill you.
I quit. We
That's
couldn't even
4
make it 24, and you want to go 2 days? No, I am no Adam and Joe.
Was that
No way.
4 years ago?
Yes, sir.
It was a long enough ago that I'm like,
Yeah, we've gotten a lot older. I don't think I can make it 24 hours now.
8 or 12 hours now. Maybe the older we get, I'm gonna knock it down further.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, 3 years ago is probably we could do 12. Like within the next year, like how about 8? Like all right, let's just do another. Let's just do our standard 2.
By
Yeah.
the time next year, it's gonna be 1 hour.
Yeah, 1
Yeah.
hour live streams. Pop in
We're
for
gonna-
5 minutes.
We'll wedge this whole thing down and go. We liked it. And
We liked it. Amazon hated it. I like the poster. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's
Welcome
the
to
YouTube
review.
Shorts version. Yeah.
yep. Why folks dead? We getting the fuck out of here.
A little scary movie reference, deep cut. Yeah, so if anybody in here, we got 21 people in here. That's wild to me. You know, it's been a long road. We've been at this for a hot minute. We've been refining how we handle things, our approach, the way we do stuff. And it's kind of awesome to be here 4 years from that live stream and be like, you know what? We still have not covered Friday the 13th Part 3, which is just blowing
There's-
my mind.
A lot of movies out there, only 52 weeks in a year, and we still aren't really great at hitting every single week. We hit most of the weeks, but not all of them. So there's
Well-
still going to be slips through the cracks.
Yeah, and we had, we'd preface that, especially at the beginning of this year, like, got a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of things going on. Life is just happening.
What else?
And
is new?
it's getting progressively more and more difficult to give up Fridays for this when we all have, like, when we first met Remix, he was just a young punk kid. Now he's like a grown up, and like we're old, and so it's wild to still be here. So if you get a weekend without us, we'll be back, but you know what I mean? Like we gotta
Jason,
rest.
We'll just keep showing back up. It may take us a little bit, but we'll be back.
Yeah. Arthritis in my trigger finger.
Yep. But we're pressing for time, so our next segment is we're going to give you our 2 cents because it's 3B video, double feature, or death. So we'll give you our 2 cents on what we think would be a good movie that would be a tag team partner for Friday the 13th 3D. Like The Last Drive-In, always showing 2 movies. Let's say you're going to finally watch this. So we're going to tell you what we think would be a good tie-in flick.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Time me up. For life.
Boom. Yeah. So let us know yours in the chat. Again, there is no wrong answer. Everybody loves their own flavor of popcorn. So whatever you think goes best with this movie, goes best with this movie. But it's important how you're going to start your night. What movie you watching first? What movie you ending with? That's fun. I like discussing that. And I think you probably know my answer because I believe I've talked about it enough on this channel. So I'll go first for you, Evil. Now, when I think of this movie, there's a lot of things I think of. Obviously, the slasher element, but the big thing that I keep coming back to, a lot like Friday 4. Friday 4 has a very famous location. So Friday 4, that cabin is reused in multiple movies. If you just look up Topeka Canyon, you'll find out probably 100 movies on your shelf were shot there. From Eraser to... whatever, I can't think of any other off the top of my head, but
Eraser 2.
Eraser 2. They made Eraser 2 and I own it? No.
You made a white noise too, I know that.
So what I went with this film is my tie-in will be with the location. So there's another film that I absolutely love, and I can't remember if you've seen it.
You've shown it.
I've pressed it on you, but yeah. So my tie-in is The Zero Boys because it's filmed in the exact same cabin. We also have maniac killers who spend a lot of time hanging out in the barn, but we also get machine guns and super cool score, a lot of fog, a lot of blue lighting, and
Blooming.
this is just a super fun, odd slasher that had slipped by my radar for years and years and years, and then when I finally discovered it, I could not stop bending Evil's ear about this movie. I was like, you gotta see Zero Boys, dude. It's so rad. It's rad. It's rad. And,
it's true.
I did finally have you borrow it, or we watched it together.
I borrowed it. Like I watched it, but when one of the times I was at your place, you put it on, and we finally did watch it. And then it's been on a few of the streaming services since, and I know we've watched it once or twice since. So,
but I'll say this: I have not, in our entire friendship, I have not heard you go, dude, Zero Boys, and like just rant and ramble. So I know it didn't hit you like it hit me. I don't know what it was about this movie, dude, but
we all got our ones that just it hit that way, and the other ones it doesn't quite hit that way.
Right, it hit. It was super fun, and plus, anytime we live that life where we do the DiCaprio meme from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah. Oh, here it come. Anytime we're watching a movie and we see, say, the dog from Elm Street 4.
Like that fucking dog from The Hidden.
So, and that happens with locations a lot too, where I'll get a snap from Evil and he'll go, hey, same hospital maybe? And, it's like...
I feel like I've done that with that fountain from Nightmare 4.
Yep,
It was something. It was, I want to say, like, maybe another stakeout. I was watching another stakeout. Like, that fountain looks familiar. I bet that's the same one. I think it is the same one from part 4, Nightmare on Elm Street.
And then we spend, like, half of our day deducing filming locations, and we go, it was, So, but it's just cool seeing Higgins Haven again. and it's got a slightly different layout, but it's the same place. So that's why it had to be my tie-in. Sorry for rambling so much, Evil.
Super minor side road I'll take for. I'd name mine Video Store VS, most number of films we've watched in it one day. And I definitely know both our answer is when we decided before 2018 hit, we watched the entire Halloween franchise on Halloween, and it was fun watching our snaps back and forth to each other as we slowly descended into madness, reaching at the crack of dawn, getting through that franchise. Now it's an impossibility because the trilogy has since came out, just added to make it insane. But that's definitely the most, is
Us.
watching the Halloween series in an entire day.
Because it
Also,
was.
taking a break for Halloween trick-or-treating and watching part 6
I was
twice.
going to say, we had to watch it twice because there's 2 cuts.
Producer cut and then the other cut, because we're like, let's just do both of them. And we didn't even do it together. We did it in separate states, so by ourselves. That was a rough day.
There's a lot of Snapchats.
Yeah, because I had to find a way to stay awake because Rob Zombie's double feature sure wasn't doing it. But my tie-in, I'm going to keep your 3D element alive going. In my first movie, you're going to put them 3D glasses on, and you'll just leave them on when you get to the next one. But
The Jaws.
no, you might be thinking, when do I put on 3D glasses when having a 3D double feature? Don't worry, my first movie will tell you exactly when to put them on, and we're going to stay in the slasher world. So my tie-in is Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. They'll tell you when to throw them fucking glasses on, and just when the credits roll, just leave them suckers on, because you're going to leave it on for the entire duration of the next movie.
That is perfect. Yeah, you can get like a good hour of a normal movie and then put your glasses on, then you get to ride it for like 2 hours.
You see what the whole next movie looks like in 3 dimensions. They were keeping the slash elements going, and definitely where they're a bit goofy and not in their most terrifying elements, but still got something to them. And also, Freddy's Dead is not necessarily a favorite of that series, but it has its place for us.
Yeah,
I love it.
they even tried. Bury me.
Water.
Holy water. But I just can't. Chicken. Yeah, no. Elbows to the bridge of the nose to anyone who tries to tell me to not like this movie. It's okay if you don't like this movie, but don't tell me I shouldn't like it, because I'll kill you. I love this movie.
There's my 2 cents worth, is let's get the slasher double feature going. And when they both decided at very different time frames, there's probably a good decade about in between the 2 movies, and they're like, 3D again?
Give it a shot. Before these disappear, let's see. The tie-in is part 6. The Burning Slumber Party Massacre.
Yeah. The Crazies remake with I think Ola Fantastic.
Yeah, baby.
Piranha 3D. I almost thought about Piranha 3D or Piranha 3 Double D.
Double D is where it's at.
That's the greatest way to do a sequel for that ever.
It's so good. Those movies are so dumb and awesome at the same time.
Yep. You get a 3-dimensional severed penis in that movie.
What's not to love? Remix.
Yeah.
If you had to pick a tie-in, I know you don't like this movie. For anyone joining late, but what would you do?
Aliens.
Yeah, I don't think I would. I can't think of a single movie that I would tie in with this. A cop-out would be like, oh, watch number 2, and I'll watch this one first, and then I'll go back to number 2.
3 to 2.
Yeah, because I want to start my day and be like, man, I want to watch an actual good
You should
Friday the
watch
13th movie.
Double 3D after this.
No one should ever watch Amityville 3D.
Oh, 3D Amityville's fine. Wait till we cover that series, and then we'll just be covering that till the day we die, because there's 30 of them.
3D Amityville, to me, is the cinematic equivalent of The Price is Right. It makes me want to die.
I don't know. Price is Right is what you watch when you feel like you're dying.
Because I want to die. That's
Well,
what
I'm
I
already
associate.
It's comfort food.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Sadness. It's for the Sad Bear dad or whatever his name was. DJ Sad Bear.
Sad dad bear.
Oh, lordy Lou. But I suppose, on that note, we should probably get going because, after all, a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them. But why not us, right?
Key, jiff, 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 pop, pop, pop.
"20 years ago, a prank took his life.
Remember, you can't tell anybody about this or you're dead.
A curse was born. The quiet little town of Brower, Illinois moved on.
So what happened?
One day, he just up and disappeared. I say it doesn't add up. There's something we're missing here.
Until...
My husband, God rest his soul, he was obsessed with that video store. All kinds of weird things used to happen there.
Yeah, fascinating. Hope you sell the rest of your shit, lady.
What's all that?
We hit a bunch of garage sales today and got all these movies and stuff.
Yeah, check it out. Thought we could maybe like hook this thing up, see if there's any like homemade porn, snuff films.
You guys bought a VCR and rewinder? You know you don't really need this. Was this supposed to sound like that? Probably not, but it's seen better days.
At least it still works. Must be my lucky day.
And now, Jacob is back.
911, what's your emergency?
My friends, there's blood everywhere. They're all hurt. They're hurt real bad.
Sir, are you there?
No, sorry. No.
Tapehead, the return of Jacob Cobb.
It's Brower, Illinois. What's the worst that could happen?
I was in the pussy fart.
And didn't that door smashing look a lot better than when Brooker tried to do that in this movie we're talking about?
That's because our door was not cardboard. And if you don't know about that, you should buy our movie. Last year,
we made a movie.
It is a tribute to all the slashers we love, made with
not the
no money.
Movie, but it's just a tribute.
That's right. It's not the greatest slasher ever made. It was just a tribute.
And we are not angels. We are but men.
Nay.
Old men. Well, we wrap Talking Friday the 13th, Part 3, 3D, finally. Another one in the books. We need to talk about something real. We need to get real with you folks. And the only way to get real is when we go to the books. So tonight we read you another chapter from the Unnatural Order of the Three-Eyed Skulls Field Guide. 2 cryptids, creatures, creeps, demons, horrors, haunts, haints, hags, ghosts, monsters, mutants, and madmen, Volume 1 of a 3-volume series, all available on Amazon.com.
I bet it's in Canada.
I don't even know how to pronounce it. The location, Guelph, Ontario. Grelph. It's like the sound your stomach makes after you've had some like low budget Mexican food. Guelph.
Yeah. Gas station burrito.
Like, what'd you have for dinner? I had 4 hard-boiled eggs from the Quick Stop gas station. I'm feeling fine.
Yeah, that's.
How are you?
That's an indigestion noise. Back to Pepto-Bismol. You're not our sponsor yet, but holler at us. We're old and our tummies hurt.
I hate Pepto-Bismol. The date, June 12th, 1983. The subject, the Easter Bunny.
What the fuck is that?
That's our artist's rendition of this Easter Bunny.
The Beaster Bunny.
Jenny Mitchell, 4, claims her brother Stephen, 6, was taken away by the Easter Bunny after he stole her chocolate bar. Stephen has not been seen since.
You stole Deacon's Easter basket.
Those are reliable sources. A 4-year-old and a 6-year-old? Check the basement. Get the fingerprints off the hairbrush.
You know, I'm starting to think, as it looks like we're officially now, and every page we've done in this, at the end of these shows, we're officially halfway through this book now. Looks legit halfway through. I'm starting to think these might not be accurate. But a 4-year-old, 6-year-old that never lied to me.
Yeah. There's a distinct possibility that it is 100% true. I mean, Groovy hit us. They have a hockey team. Gelth. Geulth. The
Gelth Easter Bunnies.
The Gelth Storm?
They're the Storm?
So let me tell you. If it's a real place, we've all heard of an Easter Bunny. Could just be a matter of science.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
My back hurts.
Science rules.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Science.
I've been the verbal Norman Bates since 1998. Sick of all the hate, I'm about to kill them all today. I'm a hip-hop fusion with screws that are loosen, genre abusing, vomit on blueprints. You couldn't box me in a coffin. Locked in, I'm the monster from the trioxin toxin. Don't forget it, I'm a sick, twisted idiot, killing off little kids, say I'm out revision it. Get it, bitch, I'm a Camp Crystal Lake type. Waiting late night, get you with a steak knife. Verbal monster, yeah, you know the rest of it. Crash your slumber party, make a mess of it. I'm on some driller killer maniac ill shit. Duct tape, shovels, drill bits. Say I'm not hip-hop and it's a feud. I'm in a troll 2 mood and you bitches are food. You don't want it with me because I'm coming and I will not stop until you all are running. I'm bringing the pain, stomping out brains, killing these lames. Cause I'm a monster. I am the man with the visions of death, the bringer of stress, the killer of flesh, the illest and yes, I'm filling requests. So tell me who's next. Cause I'm a monster. Yeah, they live. Roddy Piper wasn't lying. I'm about to get violent. So much being silent. I'm a proper blend of attitude and essence, letting out aggression with my vocals as a weapon. So much cookie cutter crap that these kids are calling rap. I just sit back and laugh while they call me an ass, and I'm supposed to just take it. Watch you fake it like you're so amazing. I'm the slaughterer, known as the monster that's coming for all of you. Pray to your father. Cause I'm sick of all the lame rhymes. I'd kill 99% of you with one line. One lawnmower strapped to my chest plate. Now that's the best way to leave a mess of dead weight. And so it's said I'm the Voorhees of the rap game. Overstay my welcome, but still leaving cats slain. You don't want it with me because I'm coming and I will not stop until you all are running. I'm bringing the pain, stomping out brains, killing these lanes. Cause I'm